Distinguished participants, on behalf of the organizer, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, and we are pleased to have you here at the EANET workshop on the relationship between atmospheric environment and human health and ecosystems, organized by the Network Center for the EANET. My name is Hiroyuki Sase, Head of Ecological Impact Research Department, Asia Center for Air Pollution Research, designated as the Network Center for the EANET. I'm serving as a moderator and the first session chair today. This 3-hour workshop aims at providing venues for all participants to obtain scientific knowledge on the relationship between the atmospheric environment and human health, and between atmospheric environment and ecosystems. To learn science-based policy experiences on reduction of atmospheric pollutants in other regions, such as Europe, and to obtain common understandings of future direction of environmental measures between policymakers and scientists on national and international levels. Firstly, Dr. Shiro Hatakeyama, Director General, the Network Center for the EANET, will give you opening remarks. Dr. Hatakeyama, floor is yours.
Okay. Mr. Bert Fabian, Coordinator for the Secretariat for the EANET, UN Environment Program, Asia and the Pacific Office. Distinguished guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EANET workshop on the relationship between the atmospheric environment, human health, and ecosystems. It is my great pleasure to have this workshop with many participants from many participating countries of EANET. Since its establishment in the year of 2001, the main target of the EANET was monitoring of acid deposition and related air pollutants. Recently, after a few years of sincere discussions among participating countries of the EANET, expansion of the scope of the EANET was agreed at the 23rd Intergovernmental Meeting held last year, and the scope expansion will be effective from tomorrow. It enables the EANET to conduct monitoring of more atmospheric environment-related substances. Since air pollutants emitted from anthropogenic activities can cause adverse effects on human health and ecosystems, this workshop is aimed at providing discussions and experience sharing with various stakeholders, such as policymakers, scientists, and the general public, in order to understand scientific knowledge and relevant policy measures. This workshop is composed of 2 sessions. First session is to discuss on scientific knowledge on the atmospheric environment and its effects. Effects of air pollutants and atmospheric deposition on human health and plants will be introduced and discussed. Second session is to discuss on science-based policy experiences in other regions. Experiences of international organizations will be introduced and discussed. I look forward to the fruitful results of the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hatakeyama, for your warm and inspiring words. Next, we will hear from Mr. Bert Fabian, Regional Coordinator, UNEP Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific. who will provide the welcome remarks. Mr. Fabian, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sase. Always a pleasure. Dr. Shiro Hatakeyama, Director General of the Asia Center for Air Pollution Research, colleagues of the Secretariat and Network Center for the EANET, distinguished speakers, and to all participants. Good afternoon and good morning as well. And thank you for joining us in this online workshop on sharing information and experience on the relationship between atmospheric environment and human health and ecosystems. The World Health Organization states that each year, air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million deaths around the world, and that now 9 out of 10 people breathe air that exceeds the WHO's guideline limits for pollutants. The Asia Pacific accounts for about 70% of air pollution-related deaths globally, and the most affected are those living in low and middle-income countries and the poorer sector of our society, who are exposed to higher concentrations of air pollutants as they work and live in polluted cities without access to air filtration in their homes or air pollution masks, especially during high air pollution episodes in their cities. The impacts on agriculture also cannot be dismissed. The latest research published in January 2022 from experts associated with the EANET looked at the impact of surface ozone in East Asia on rice, wheat, and maize, resulting in 33%, 23%, and 9% yield loss respectively. In an era where food security is a major issue, the air pollution impacts on agriculture can be quite substantial. EANET has had the experience, data, and network over the last 20 or so years studying acid deposition in East Asia and also in Southeast Asia. Recently, and as many of you know, mentioned by Dr. Shiro Hatakeyama, the EANET has agreed on its expansion of scope to cover air pollution, and effective tomorrow for all the participating countries that have approved the annex and submitted their consent letters. This means that more activities and studies can be conducted in these countries to cover more broadly air pollution issues. Needless to say, this is an opportune time as many countries in the region continue to grapple with the air pollution crisis. I am based in Bangkok, Thailand, where this season will bring about the episodic rise of air pollution levels in the country. Other countries in the region are also experiencing the same problem with the air pollution. I hope that through this workshop, EANET can start to increase its activities to reach out to policy and decision makers in the region and provide state-of-the-art data, studies, and share experiences from other regions in order to improve science-based policy and decision-making in the region. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a very fruitful and productive workshop. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your encouraging words, and it was very impressive to hear such warm remarks. Once again, thank you, Dr. Hatakeyama and Mr. Fabian, for opening today's seminar. Now, I would like to move on to the first session. This seminar consists of 3 parts. Session 1, scientific knowledge on the atmospheric environment and its effects. Session 2, science-based policy experiences in other regions. And then discussion session. As the session chair of the session 1, I would like to introduce the contents of the session 1 today. We have 3 speakers for the session 1. Professor Kayo Ueda, Hokkaido University. Professor Zhao Zhongfeng, and Nanjing University of Information Science and Technology. And myself,